Hey guys, it's Jordan here with Coda's Canine Academy. I was just bringing Hershey out to play a little bit of ball, and I thought this might be a really good opportunity to hop on and talk about teaching dogs how to formally retrieve an object. So in this situation, I'm referring to more like service dog applications. This also, I mean, this is a good starter way for like hunting dogs as well, but especially for like or just for fun and to use as like a brain game exercise, okay? Obviously, the more advanced you need it, the more honed in it would have to be, but on a very basic level, this is a really good way for dogs to learn self-control while still getting to have fun and getting to kind of enjoy their time with you and play with you while being mentally stimulated. So if you have a dog that is really toy motivated and they're automatically like excited about the ball and you just want to like use it as a brain game exercise, you are welcome to use their ball from the very beginning. However, if it's a dog like Hershey, even though he's a chocolate lab, when he was really young, he didn't have any like retrieving drive. He had a really high prey drive, but like he only liked playing fetch because my other dog liked playing fetch. But at first, he could give a hoot about the ball. So when I first taught him a formal retrieve, I had to teach him with treats, and then I taught him how to pick up all sorts of different things. And I'll attach kind of a compilation of the stuff I made him pick up just for fun because he can. Um, but anyways, um, so with Hershey, I had to start with treats. So if you have a dog that's not particularly like ball motivated and you don't feel 100% that they're going to go out excitedly and come right back, but they're really high food motivated, even better. Also, if you are somebody who like is planning to train like service dogs to be able to retrieve, you want to be careful about using their toys when you're teaching them a formal retrieve because we don't want the dogs to get in the habit of having like a really hard mouth where they're like gnawing on stuff. Because if we're going to have them picking up like pill bottles and other things of that nature, then you don't want them chomping all the way through it, or if they're like going to get beverages out of the fridge or what have you, right? We don't want them to be biting through the containers. So you don't always want to use something that's really soft that's likely that your dog is going to like chew down on it. The same would apply for hunting purposes because obviously you don't want the dog, chomping on your bird before it gets back to you. So um, as we progress through this, kind of be conscious about what item you're using to throw out there. For like hunting dogs specifically, PVC pipe, like just a little small piece of PVC pipe works really good because obviously it's pretty hard and they can't chomp down on it and like break it. It's uncomfortable for their teeth. They don't really enjoy it very much. So it teaches them how to have a soft mouth, like when they're carrying birds. Otherwise, for like service work, you want for service work, you want to switch out the items a lot. You want the dog comfortable picking up anything and everything because, like, if they're working for somebody who's handicapped, you never know what they might have to pick up. And, like, we want them to pick up anything that we tell them to. And then if it's just, again, if it's just for like brain work exercises and stuff like that, you are more than welcome to just use their ball and just have fun with it. Again, that was for like work specific dogs. You want to be conscious of how hard their bite is. But anyways, I'm going to start out by showing you how you can start with a dog who is not very toy motivated, and you can start building that pattern, and then we'll introduce the items, and that's when those other specific items will come into play. Very nice. All right, so the very first step of this is we're going to use a treat. Or if your dog already knows like the heel position, you can put them kind of in the heel position so they're beside you. Again, if you're training for service or like hunting work, you're gonna want that heel position to be pretty precise. So, Rishi, heel, sit, good. Now from here, if your dog's just learning it, you can go ahead and give them a treat. And then what we're gonna say, we're gonna go ahead and throw the treat. We're gonna, nope, sit, good boy. So I'm gonna throw the treat. I'm gonna hold him until there's no more pressure on the collar. Again, if your dog has a stay, you can just give them that stay, but I like to hold on to their collar just in case when they're first working on it, because I don't want to have to backtrack. Like, I just want to make good forward progress. So if I'm holding on to their collar, I know if they're going to try to go, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait until there's no longer pressure on the collar and I know they've relaxed. Once they've relaxed, I'm going to send them after the treat by saying back, or whatever cue you want to use, fetch, get it, whatever. I intermix mine sometimes. Hershey does all of them. So again, what it'll look like is Hershey, come. So we'll lure them into the heel, sit, yes. And while I give him that treat, I'm gonna stick my hand in his collar. As I throw it out there, I'm gonna say mark, mark, back. Yes, good boy, hey, hey. Good boy. Heel. Good. Stay. Back. Find it. Find it. Good boy. Hey. Yes. So what I was trying to pattern right there is that the dog is staying and they're waiting until they're released. They're going out to the target. Even if it has stopped, they're using their nose to kind of find it. And then as soon as they get the treat, I'm gonna get really excited and get them back to me. As soon as they get all the way back, I like to go ahead and reward, especially at the beginning, because we're teaching them that going back and coming back is equally as rewarding. That's how we're gonna build that pattern of like the out and back, out and back, out and back. And you don't necessarily wind up with those dogs that will run like halfway back and run around you or not come all the way to you, because we're teaching them that coming back to us, even in a fetch setting, is gonna be rewarding. So again, we brought them into the heel, sit, stay, throw it out. When I said mark the first time, that's like a hunting thing. That's when they start having like multiple targets like at the same time and they're telling the dog to mark. It's kind of like a heads up, and then they'll send them out like one at a time to each one. For service work, generally speaking, like it's like an item somebody like dropped, or it's like a learned behavior where they teach them like every day at a certain time they go get this medicine, bring it to them, wake them up, whatever. Like you can teach service dogs routines like that, and other stuff. But a lot of times you're just like pointing stuff and say like back, or like, you can name a certain amount of items, but dogs aren't superhumans. But again, for like even the dogs that are just for like mental brain games, a lot of dogs will not instinctually go out and pick up an item that has stopped rolling, because once it stops rolling, the prey drive comes to a halt, right? Which is 90% of the reason why they were chasing the ball in the first place. So once the ball comes to a halt, instinctually they're not driven to just go chase it. That's why starting out with treats is a really good way, because like dogs who are highly food motivated are going to go out and naturally look for that treat on that back command, because they love food. The food is more highly scented, and it teaches them that even if the item isn't still moving, they still need to go out there and look for it. And then as soon as they find it, we're recalling them back as fast as we can. So Hershey, come. Back. Get it. Get it. Back. Good boy. So with Hershey, he has been playing a lot more fetch with a lot of kids, so this is actually a good day to work on this. But since the kids get a little bit nervous when Hershey goes to put it in their hand, I've just been having him drop it on the ground, which is kind of a bummer, because we spent a long time teaching the retrieve to hand, and now he does that to be a jerk, so he can go get a head start, especially when he thinks we're working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call him back, and I'm going to change this camera angle so hopefully you can see the whole thing. So anyways, I'm going to call him back, put him in the heel, have him sit, throw the ball. And again, if you're just starting out and you're not positive that your dog is going to stay, go ahead and hold onto their collar. That way they can't go. And then as soon as you feel the pressure let off, it's not enough just to hold them until the ball stops. You want to wait until the pressure actually lets off of the collar, because that tells you like that their body language has like relaxed, and now they're going to be receptive to you. So if I have a dog that's like really, really anxious to go, there's a chance she might be. Here she comes. Heel. Good boy. Especially when Bruce is outside, he gets a little anxious, but I'm going to see if I can use this as a good opportunity. Wait. Back. So no, he actually did that exactly the way I wanted, but same thing. Hey, hey, good boy! Yes! Yes! Good boy! Out. Good boy. Come. Good boy. Come. Heel. Sit. Stay. Back. Good boy! Hey, hey. Back. Out. Good boy. Ooh, as long as we're here, now we can kind of show what working on sit from a distance looks like. Here's she. Sit. Oh boy. So obviously there's a good 10 feet or so between me and Hershey. This is what we're talking about when we talk about being able to give dogs commands from a distance. It means that like regardless of how far away from you they are, that they're still going to respond. Down. Thank you. Good boy. Stay. Back. So that's a good example of like having a little bit of distance on like sit, down, and stay, and then also sending him off to go get that ball. Good boy. Hey, hey. It's like I'm peeing, Mom. Good boy. Come on. Back. Good boy. Down. Touch. Touch. Sit. Stay. Back. So that one was a little unfair. Bruce was about to go steal his ball, so I was trying to beat him to the bunch before he broke. But you get the gist of it. So like that was another good example of like how you can just tie a little bit more cueing in, how you can use touch to get them close to you, to get them into that heel position. Have some fun with it. Use it as an opportunity to like work with them, challenge them a little bit, and don't forget to have fun with them too. Especially when you first start teaching a dog to formally retrieve. If you don't give them the option to like have fun or play with you while they're doing it too, there's a good chance that they could build like kind of a bad association with it, especially if it's a dog that loves to play fetch naturally as it is. If all they ever do is work when they're fetching, eventually they kind of start to lose interest. So like make sure that you're still having those times when you're playing with them, or maybe like work them for the first like 5 or 10 of them to get that like real intense thing out, and then just have some fun with them. Don't forget to have fun with your dogs, okay? You see a lot of trainers that are like a little too serious about their dog training, and like you start losing the whole purpose of like the dog and handler connection, which is like being a bonded pair. You know, you still have to take the time to like love them and play with them and have a good time. So like even when you're doing these exercises to help wear them out, don't forget to have fun with your dog. You'll thank me later. Bye, y'all.